Welcome back to a little bit of agency therapy. Last week we covered a lot, so we'll do a quick review of everything that we kind of chatted about last week, which was specifically narrowing down skill sets, our niche shell, and exactly how we're going to be positioning ourselves as an agency. So, top skills for me in order were video editing, video production, copywriting, website design, and Facebook ad buying. Okay, so we started there at a skill set, and that's essentially what you guys are going to need in order to start any type of agency. You got to have a skill set that you can go and sell to other people. Okay, and then from there, we broke down that niche shell. Your focus niche is going to carry you much further than a bunch of different services, all going a bunch of different directions. So make sure you guys are staying really focused on the niche that you are serving. Okay, this exercise here where we narrow down that niche shell. And then from there, we have a nice little exercise over in this next step here that talks about thinking about your agency positioning and just going a little bit further and just being able to dial it in even further. And we build out something called level 3 positioning. So, and then the last piece that we covered before we ended the stream was our organic creative for female entrepreneurs. So the example agency that I'm going to be building out during these live streams is going to be an organic creative agency specifically made for female entrepreneurs. So that's kind of where we left off last time. We kind of understood that from the skill sets that we started off at the beginning. We eliminated website design entirely. We eliminated Facebook ad buying entirely, and we really niched down into 3 main services, which was going to be post-production editing, copywriting, scheduling, and posting. And then something that we might tie in at a certain point in time is actually doing the video production itself, okay? But for the most part, we're gonna stay away from that for the first push here. We're only gonna be doing the post-production editing, the copywriting, and the scheduling and posting, and we are gonna consider this our zone of genius, and we're not gonna leave our zone of genius if it's outside of the circle. We are not doing it. Now, let's go ahead and dive into part 2. Okay, this is what I built out a little bit earlier today. Hopefully this stuff is helpful for you guys. So there is a result that we created through our market leader positioning. So this is all new content for you guys. So leader positioning results, okay? And the result from the exercises that we did last time was we provide some sort of services within our zone of genius to a specific niche by delivering results from that zone of genius, okay? And so the statement that we have down below here, and the statement that I created specifically for my brand new agency that I'm going to create, okay, is we provide organic social media services to ambitious female entrepreneurs with an underdog story by delivering scroll-stopping content, potent captioning, and a consistent posting schedule, okay? So that's kind of where we left off, and that's kind of what we're building out right now, is kind of refining some of that niche positioning. But I want to cover today specifically 10 points, and we'll cover the first 5 specifically in this live stream today, because we won't have time to cover them all today. That will be the part 3 of this live stream. I don't know how many parts it's going to break down to, but I will keep going until I feel like we have the infrastructure to build $1 million agency. We're talking on the Big 10 today, okay? The Big 10. What do our Big 10 break down into, okay? Our Big 10 break down into our first piece, which is our QBR, or our Queen Bee roll. Okay. From there, I don't know why it keeps doing that. There we go. Okay. Our business end game. We have vision, foundations. We have our W4, our core values. This will come in a different stream. Okay. This is actually, so we'll skip over that one today. Must conquer dailies, 30-day impact items, quarterly radar items, quarterly theme, and then the final one, projections. Okay. So 10 things in total. We'll cover 5 of them today. We're actually going to skip over the core values because it's too big of a section to cover in just this stream. So we'll cover the must conquer dailies along with these first 4. Jumping into step 1. Okay. We have to establish our Queen Bee role. It is the one thing in your agency that you have to protect at all costs. And if you guys aren't running agencies and you're like, this doesn't apply to me, well, it might still, right? If you run a business, you probably have a Queen Bee role within your business, but we're talking agencies today. And our Queen Bee role, okay, once again, kind of comes from this book called Clockwork. So suggested reads, and we'll talk about this Start With Why book in just a second, but suggested reads, if you guys don't have these books or haven't read these, would highly recommend Clockwork by Mike McCall. It's one of my favorite books, one of my favorite business authors, really makes things very digestible in his content. So our QBR for our pretend agency that we will be delivering here is going to be speed to delivery plus quality control. Okay. When we do these things, 2 things correctly and accurately, we're going to build a killer agency. Okay. So speed to delivery and quality control. And this QBR can change for anyone, right? For my consultancy that I run, our QBR is building agency relationships. Everything that we do starts with building agency relationships, and then everything spreads from there. And this queen bee role becomes the centerpiece and the cornerstone to our business. And if it reflects back on the QBR and it goes against it, then we have to make the decision to not do whatever that activity is. And if that activity does align with our QBR, then we go ahead and move forward with that activity and making sure that we're doing the best things in the interest of our clients. So for this, if any of the decisions that we make within the business don't align with speed to delivery and quality control, we're not going to do it. So this is the main piece of our business. All of our team will be aligned with this as we launch this agency. So that's step one, establish your QBR. From there, step number two, we're talking business endgame. And this one's going to take just a little bit longer to build out. And you might have to think on this a little bit. I've built out quite a few business end games. I've done this exercise plenty of times. So I was able to build it a little bit faster than most people will. With this being said, you will make edits, you will make changes to all of the information that I'm going to give to you today throughout your entire time building your agency, building your business. The business end game itself, just know you can make edits to this. This is not a forever thing, but we want to start setting that North Star goal, that thing that is going to really drive us and pull us into the future. But first, we have to understand our vision hierarchy and how to actually build out a business end game. We have this down here, this little chart down here, and eventually it will bring us to our vision foundations. But we have to understand our why, okay, or our reason for existing specifically for this agency. And you guys, I pointed out down here, this book, Start With Why by Simon Sinek, one of the most popular like leadership books that you could probably purchase. Most people have read this book. If you have not read this book, would recommend it. I give it like an 8 out of 10 as far as how good the content actually is. It seems pretty straightforward when you read through it and you're like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But it is a good book to kind of revisit if you are just getting a business off the ground. The why is specifically your reason for existing. So why does this agency that I'm creating actually exist? What's the purpose? What are we trying to accomplish with this agency specifically? Well, we exist to give female entrepreneurs a strong voice. This is why we exist. And so this will stand as our why statement until we decide that we need to change it a little bit. Okay. So all of this stuff is flexible. This is not set in stone, but this is where we start. And from there, we move into our actual business endgame hierarchy. And when we build out our business endgame, there's 3 things that we have to approach for our business endgame specifically. What we want the business to deliver for you, what we want the business to deliver for your team, and lastly, what you want the business to deliver to your clients. And if you're missing any of these 3, chances are your business endgame is going to fall a little bit short, because these are the 3 things that make up your entire business. You miss any of those, then you don't have a very sustainable, long-lasting business. When we build this out, and I only put 3 specific ones in here, and I made them things that were usually outside of what I want personally. So this is just an example. These are not things that you have to do. This is a pretend business. First thing is for me. So what do I want this business endgame to provide for me? Well, I want it to provide to me $1 million in take-home income per year. Okay, that is the end game, is for this business to be able to afford me being able to take $1 million home in personal income. I also want that purple Lamborghini, baby. Okay, for all you car people out there, which I'm not really the car person, but this is something, hey, that I want for me. Okay, and I might even download a little picture and put it in a little vision board for myself. Okay. And then lastly, speaking at events, I want to speak on stages all over the world. Once again, this is a pretend business end game. So you have to build it out for what you want, specifically for you. From there, we're talking about your team. What do you want this business to provide specifically to your team? If you neglect this area, man, you're probably not going to be the best leader, probably not going to be a good visionary specifically for your team. Okay. And so when you're building this out for your team, and you know, I put, I think 4 points here. Okay. A career that they can grow in, alignment with our why and vision, and then financially high 5-figure, low 6-figure salaries, everyone in our company. Okay, that's what we want to provide to our team. So just an example there, you can build that out further. You can elaborate a little bit more. You could start with a short list and elaborate on it throughout the year. Okay, and we elaborate on these things once again all the time. This is not a one and done document. This is something that we continue to iterate on a monthly, quarterly, yearly basis. So you will revisit this. This is not something that is set and done. You're going to come back and revisit this. I know I keep harping on that because I think it's really important. Okay. Moving on to your clients, your clients. So what do you want your business to deliver specifically to your clients? And so for me, the first point here was strong, long-lasting relationships. We love relationships in our business. And I find that when you can build strong relationships with your clients, you're going to deliver a high-level service and also build long-lasting clients. Second is the best results in the industry. We want our clients to know that we deliver the best results in the industry. And then lastly, here we have the top 1% clients. Okay, we want the best of the best clients. I want the best female entrepreneurs possible to work with. Okay, we want the best of the best. We don't want people that are just getting started. Okay, maybe at the beginning when we first start the agency, this is where we go. But as we continue to grow as a business, as we continue to get more solidified as a market leader, our clients that we bring on, that's who we want to work with. Okay, so that's our end game. This isn't where we start. This is what we're building towards. So let's jump into the next piece here. So once we build out this business end game, you figure out what you want this business to deliver for you, your team, and your clients. Then we can move on to the actual what and like the vision foundations of building your agency. Vision foundations breaks into two segments here. It's going to be the what, specifically your services, and then the how, the tactics that actually go behind your services. Now, this is a little bit more what I would consider pie in the sky type stuff. Like this is more high level thinking. So just stay with me for a second. We're going to go in the clouds for a hot second, especially on the how and the tactics. Okay. So vision foundation here. I mean, it is vision, so it should be in the clouds, right? So, but first we build out the what. Okay. So what are the services that we're actually going to provide? Okay. What offerings does your agency provide to fulfill your why? Okay. So once again, it channels back up into our specific why, our reason for existing. Okay. And it boils down all the way into the what and how we deliver that service. And so for us, we have a statement specifically that we build out for our what. So this boils down into we deliver consistent quality content through our creative strategies and systems. By doing this, we impact female entrepreneurs, their employees, and their families. We quantify impact in terms of creating more time freedom, monetary gain, and recognition. And then from there, we get into the actual how. How is a list of the strategies and tactics that make up the what. We consider this the daily blocking and tackling of the business. We create engaging organic content through unmatched quality post-production, copywriting, and effective posting schedules. We consistently communicate with our clients to make them feel heard and understood. We organize a community of like-minded female entrepreneurs that can collaborate and build together. So we tie these two statements together to figure out how or what we deliver on and how we deliver on it. These two statements become extremely important, especially as we bring teammates on and we get more people involved in our business. As you guys continue to scale out, you scale to 10, 25, 45 different people. These what and how statements become, once again, new cornerstones of the business of what you deliver and how you deliver on it. So do not skip over this part. Vision foundations are crucial to building an agency. This business end game is your North Star goal, crucial to building your agency, and then your reason for existing, okay, your why, crucial. So step number four is called the W4. Okay, what is the W4 exactly? It breaks down into who we are, what we do well, what proof do we have, and why do people want it. This specific step is more for some marketing efforts and more for your sales activities, okay? This becomes more of the foundation for you guys establishing your market leader positioning and carrying that over into sales conversations, into lead generation, into marketing activities. So this next part is more focused on that, whereas in the business end game is more of like an internal vision and statement, whereas in the W4 is more market facing, what other people are going to see you as you're represented to like the public eye, who we are. There's essentially three questions that we kind of ask here in order to dial this in, and then we build a statement based off of it. What can you be the market leader in? So specifically talking about who we are, what can we be the market leader in? And you'll see that this correlates to the statement that we actually built out. Who are you serving specifically? Make this extremely niche. What is the goal of the people you serve? That's the third question. What I would do specifically is I would go through here and actually answer these questions. Once again, I've done this a decent amount of times, so I didn't actually come in here and answer those questions. But what I did is I created a specific statement. Blank is the market leader in content curation. Okay, I use the word curation there because we're not content creators because we're not doing the production yet, right? So we're the market leader in content curation for 6 to 8 figure female entrepreneurs that have an underdog story. That's who we are. We move into what we do well. So who we are to what we do well. So going back to those skill sets. And we'll use these specifically front facing in marketing materials, websites, all of that. What would your client say that you do for them? What does your client get in return for working with you? And then, would your client be willing to recommend what you do to someone else? Partners with committed female founders to drive growth through implementing proven creative frameworks that unlock more impressions, engagements, and clicks. Now, once again, these statements can completely change. As we continue to grow the agency, we might find that this might not hold true in 6 to 8, 9 months. Be willing to change these things. They're not things that are set in stone, but this is a great starting point if you're going to start positioning your agency. And notice how these statements really point out very specific items. Okay, what would your client say that you do well for them? Well, we implement proven creative frameworks that unlock impressions, engagement, and clicks. What does your client get in return for working with us? Well, they get more impressions, engagements, and clicks. And would your client be willing to recommend what you do to someone else? At the end of the day, would they recommend you to more of this specific avatar? Yes or no? If you're doing your job and you're actually following through with the statement, it should be a clear yes. If you're just getting started, you have to make this almost like a future statement, something that you believe will happen in the future and that you think that you can deliver on. Regardless of your ability to do it or not, we're going to pretend that you can do it. Because if you're not betting on yourself, then there's no point in starting an agency because you'll lose right at the beginning. So build statements for your future self and what you want this team to be and what you want the results for you to deliver actually are. Don't be afraid to do that, okay? You have to be willing to put yourself out there and try your best to get these types of results that you want to deliver. Moving on, last piece here, last and final, fourth piece of the W4. Why do people want it? This is my favorite statement to build out of all four of these. Why do people want it? This is a hard statement to build, but super beneficial when you can get it right and your clients understand it or your prospects understand it. So what does a prospect get working with you that they're not going to get anywhere else? Second question, why should people work with you over a competitor? And then the last piece here, are you confident in the results to tell your prospect why they should have it? Those are the questions you have to ask specifically on why people want it. What does the prospect get working with us that they're not going to get anywhere else? Why should people come work with me over a competitor? And am I confident in the results to tell the prospects why they should specifically have it? Okay, so see how this starts to translate into more sales materials and into marketing materials. It becomes really important. Let's jump into this statement. So female founders, okay? Whenever you're talking about your niche, I always like this statement here, find confidence in working together. That's a very powerful statement. If you can chat with your client specifically on that, people find confidence in working together, and then whatever the rest of the statement is. Female founders find confidence in working together because we've created a systematic approach that has not only worked for ourselves, but other ambitious founders. If you guys are doing like content creation or curation and you haven't even done this shit yourself, if you're not consistent even posting your own content, that's a hard service to sell, right? Got to be very honest with yourself, specifically in the service that you guys are delivering. If you can't do it for yourself, why would other people buy it from you? Okay, number 5. Must conquer dailies. Essentially the things, the pieces that you have to do every single day in order to pretty much call it a successful day. And this one has nothing really to do with marketing activities or sales activities or positioning. This is just something that we build out internally of like, what activities must we do daily to keep a rhythm of consistency? Business is rhythmic, day in and day out. And when you can find that rhythm day in and day out, you're going to have way more consistency. You're going to have a way better team bond. You guys are going to be rowing the same direction at the same cadence. And that's what great business is built around, is great rhythm, great cadence. In order to do this, we have 3 specific things that we're going to accomplish every single day. First thing is we're going to review our impact list. The second thing that we do is we hold our daily check-ins. So this is just an automated message that goes out on our Slack. It connects to our ClickUp board. It's a ClickUp form that our team fills out every morning. It basically measures energy and what commitments they're going to do on a daily basis. And then lastly, we do our end of day reports. And this is what keeps us rhythmic. 3 really simple things, but extremely important. On the next live stream, guys, we'll actually build out the rest of the Big 10. So we have 1 through 5 today. We skipped over core values because that's kind of beefy. And then from there, we'll jump down into 30-day impact items. So we kind of chatted about that a little bit. We'll jump into quarterly radar items, quarterly theme, which will be a quick piece, and then projections, which might be its own stream. And then after that, we might do a little bit of branding as well, and start building out what this agency will actually look like. Yo, what's up, crew? We are doing a live stream throughout the next couple of months, showing you how to build an agency from 0 to $1 million. It's gonna be 100% free. It's gonna be on a live stream. We're literally gonna build it out step by step for you guys. So if you're interested in learning how to grow, build an agency, whether you have goals to build to $1 million or not, this is going to be some fundamentals that I feel that you should have instilled inside your agency. So come hang out on our next live stream. Here's some dates here for next one. Okay.